My name is Bique. I've been in security awareness for quite some time already, been building a security awareness product for the past 6 years. And before that, buying these solutions, being responsible for security awareness, acting as a consultant, and then in-house as well. And during this time, I like to think I've learned a thing or two about security awareness. Security awareness as an industry has transformed, along with how IT and tech have really fundamentally transformed over the past 10-15 years. We've seen, like 15 years ago, you had to put a ticket into IT to be able to do anything. You didn't have much access on a common employee's device. You had to request things. You needed to request access for software. That's not the case today. You take your credit card, even without a credit card, you go online and you can use all sorts of fancy AI tools and the like. That means that security awareness needs to transform as well. We can't anymore be that kind of control unit, what we were before. We can't just come up with a simple set of rules, do this, don't do that. It doesn't work. It's way too complex. We need to transform security awareness into something that actually coaches people to think for themselves and make good decisions, because a predefined set of rules is just not going to be enough for today's complex technical environment. So how do we do security awareness? Well, first we have to look at what is our business? What do we do as an organization? What are our goals in terms of security awareness? What are the different roles that we have in our organization? And what would be the risks that these roles face in their day-to-day? So we feed that into the program. We think about learning objectives. What is it? If we have a salesperson, what does a salesperson in our organization need to know? Well, they're likely going to be targets for social engineering. That's part of it. Some of them might deal with financial information, confidential customer information. We think about that. Developers, on the other hand, will likely have very different kinds of training needs. So it's very, very important to move away from this kind of thinking that, hey, we have generic awareness training that fits all. There's a small set of that is relevant for all, but the more relevant you can make it for your employees, for their day-to-day work in your organization, the more likely you're going to succeed with security awareness. I would also suggest that you think of different skill levels. So beginners can be very frustrated if you throw them into the deep end. You don't want to do that. You want to factor in that people have different starting points in their cyber awareness, so you need to deliver training based on that. You need to factor in that Azure developer you have that has been doing security since before we called it cybersecurity, that you might not want to frustrate them with a whole lot of basic content. It doesn't mean that they don't need training. They most likely do. They just need training on different topics. So you want to factor that in. You want to figure, are there ways we can fast track employees that already know this stuff, because their time is valuable doing something else. Security awareness is a very multidisciplinary topic, and we need a lot of different kinds of skill sets to be able to deliver it. Of course, for the technical end of the training, there's technical skills needed, but we need a lot of different kinds of skills in terms of designing actual effective learning. So that's a lot about humanities. It's a lot about individual psychology. How do we create that psychologically safe environment for learning? How do we build this from the employees' needs first? So that's something that it's a fascinating topic. It changes all the time. The things the employees need to learn change all the time. The kinds of challenges we're facing, new tools left and right. So there's something in security awareness for everyone. So I think that's definitely something that I recommend getting into if you're at all interested in the human side of cybersecurity.